The other thing that we talk about is polymorphism. Now, this is not when you get to marry more than one person. Don't get all excited. Polymorphism is also related to parent and child classes in that it specifically talks about how you can start out with a parent class that's defined one way. Maybe it has a shape and it has a size and it has a color that's a certain things. So this is a yellow square. But if I wanted to create child classes of this, I can also do what's called an override, a property override or a method override that changes those things for the child. So I can inherit things, which means I'm getting those same things passed down. But the things that I inherit, I can also change up. For example, like if my parent dies, right? My parent gives me a cabin in the woods. Well, I hate the woods. I don't want the cabin. So I sell that cabin and maybe I buy a beach house with it. Not sure that's economically feasible, but let's just pretend that it is. So that would be a form of polymorphism because what I inherited was the cabin, but what I changed it to was a beach house. I still have a vacation home. It's somewhat similar, but it's one thing instead of another, if that makes sense. And polymorphism has to do with overriding things that are inherited. Okay, so that's what polymorphism is. So in this case, the vehicle class, maybe I inherit drive and gas, but for a truck, maybe drive is different because everybody knows that a truck that is empty gets way better gas mileage than a truck that has crap in it, right? So drive has to look different because drive has to take into account payload. So for this, drive looks different. For this, maybe I just inherit it directly for the car. I don't have to exercise polymorphism there, but maybe it transports passengers, or maybe there's something there. Maybe car, the gas mileage depends on the total weight of your passengers or something, right? But for a truck, I have to override this for the truck because I have to take into account payload when I think about how much gas is used when I drive. So drive looks different for a truck than it does for a generic vehicle or even from a car. So that would be polymorphism. Polymorphism means this thing exists in the parent, but we're gonna override it. We're gonna change it down here. So if I define this drive method in the truck class, it overrides anything that's named the same that's inherited from the parent. So let's look at an example. Okay, remember my fruit stand example? We had we had a product that maybe has a name, quantity, and price, and maybe I add a method called sell product. And then maybe I use that generic product instead of a fruit class. I'm using a product class that I can then differentiate. Maybe I want to start selling flowers at the farmer's market in addition to fruit. So now I have fruit, which has name, quantity, and price, but also I need the type of flower and maybe the color of the flower as part of that. So in this case, there's no polymorphism happening because I haven't redefined anything from this down here. So all of the inherited properties and methods are the same, and then I'm adding additional ones to differentiate down here. So how would that look?